Deuces are wild between Wichita and San Diego. 2 games, 2 overtimes, and 2 victories for the Sockers. In Game 1, back in December, Cha-Cha Namdar gave San Diego the victory just 2:14 into the extra period. And on the coast, the Wings trailing 5-0 came back to tie it with this Kim Rundfed blast with only 50 seconds to go in regulation, only to lose in OT on the Vidal Fernandez goal. Can the Wings stop the Sockers this time around, or will San Diego be climbing the walls once again? Stick around and find out.
From the sports arena in the tuna capital of the world, San Diego, California, KSN Sports is proud to present the Wichita Wings versus the San Diego Sockers in a Western Division matchup. Tonight's game is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, the makers of Budweiser and Budweiser Light. By your Wichita Coca-Cola bottler, Coke is it. By Mid-Kansas Federal Savings and Loan Association with 19 convenient locations. By McDonald's Restaurants, together, McDonald's and you. And by True Value Hardware. It's more than just a name, it's our way of doing business. San Diego time at Phoenix with a 7-game winning streak, but the Sockers have been rolling along here at the sports arena with 10 wins in a row. The Wings have also been soaring. Wichita's won 5 straight, including this win over the world champion New York Arrows last Sunday, and Jurgen Christensen could have danced all night. Jeff Bourne danced all over Golden Bay last Wednesday. His 4 goals helped the Wings calm the quake 7-3. And the Kansas Coliseum reached 8.4 on the Richter scale. Well, hello again, everyone. I'm Dave Armstrong, along with Joe Howarth, live from the sports arena. Joe, a tremendous city, and we are really looking forward to this one. It should be a tremendous contest.
It really will. Both games are really hot right now. We managed to get in last night and see part of the game. San Diego appeared to have it wrapped up with just 5 minutes to go, but Phoenix came back and really put it to him in the overtime.
All right, what effect will that have on San Diego? They had to go 12 minutes into overtime, and they must be tired.
I think so, because their plane was at least an hour and a half late, I think, getting in here. So that probably will be a factor. They'll be a little tired, I'm sure.
How much does this game mean to both teams? Well, look at the standings, and you can see. Because San Diego is leading this division by just 2.5 now over Wichita, so certainly an important game for the Wings here. St. Louis 3.5 back, Kansas City 4 back, then comes Phoenix 4.5. Golden Bay and Los Angeles are mathematically out of it. In just a moment, we'll be back with the Wings starting lineup and the opening kickoff. Stand by for a great game.
San Diego Sockers, Alan Mayer, of course, will be in goal. On the field, it will be Gert Wieserkowski, Juli Veee, Gene Wilrich, Martin Donnelly, and I'm trying to pick up the last one here. I haven't quite gotten that one yet. Well, we'll get that one back to you. For the Wichita Wings, Mike Dowler, of course, in goal. The defenders will be Tony Pesnecker and Per Rutbed. Midfielders Omar Gomez and Terry Nickel, and the forward will be Jeff Bourne. We're trying to get that 5th San Diego field player. Kosdania on the far side. Now we're ready to go. Tony Pesnecker across midfield, right side, Terry Nickel. Working it across midfloor, dumps it towards the right corner. Jeff Bourne takes it. Up high in the air to knock him off the ball is Donnelly. Goes up over the plexiglass. Herb Silva whistles it dead and calls it against the Wichita Wings. So Alan Mayer picks it up. Just underway, first period of action, 14:45 remaining, and San Diego comes on the attack. Up along the right-hand side is Gene Wilrich, working for Donnelly in the middle. Finds it back for Gert Wieserkowski, playing with a bit of a hamstring injury. Now it's Wilrich. Wilrich on the far board, across the way for Donnelly. Per Rundfed comes over to give him a little bit of a knock. Donnelly sends a glare his way. Herb Silva comes over to knock it down. And the ball will be put into play by Tony Pesnecker as Donnelly sent it up over the glass. Ball comes into the attack zone, and it's a three-line pass called against the Wings as Jeff Bourne did not get to the red line previous to the ball, and so it'll be a San Diego kick-in. No score first period of action. Juli Veee with a heavily wrapped right wrist and fingers works the ball up along the left-hand side. Donnelly with it, trailing with his right foot, sends it towards the goal area into the left corner. Daniel working for Wilrich. Nickel comes over to knock it away. Ball in the near corner, sends it up the right-hand side to Omar Gomez. Now Tony Pesnecker controlling. Ball free in front of the net. Bear Huntfit picks up the loose ball and brings it up the pitch. He's to the defensive red line, now to midfield. Stops the ball as Juli Veee comes in to knock it away, but Terry Nickel is there to play it. Up along the right-hand side, it's Omar Gomez. At the near boards in front of the Wichita bench, he's on his high horse, beating Wilrich to the corner. Shot coming. Mayer makes the save. Mayer quickly up. One of the best distributors in the game, they say, Steve.
Howard Mayer really slings that ball well, and his forwards are looking for it every minute.
Adi Coker tries to center. Per Huntfit is there and knocks it off. Costagna complaining. No call on the play made by Bill Maxwell. Mike Dowler's distribution comes out to Jeff Bourne in mid-floor. Bourne can't control it, and so at midfield, along the far boards, it'll be put into play by Gary Collier and the San Diego Sockers. No score, 13:42 remaining in the first period of action.
Remember, Mike Dowler's just allowed 7 goals in his last 4 games. Unbelievable average, less than 2 goals a game. And came close to shutting out both Kansas City and Baltimore.
Ball comes to the top of the arc. Coker works it off for Vidal Fernandez. Fernandez working against Cutbush. Cutts gets his foot on it momentarily, but Fernandez retreats to the red line, then spins towards the near corner. Cutbush still on his horse. Jurgen Christensen coming over to give chase. Fernandez gets free from 24 feet. Piper plays him off the ball. Cutbush was on him as well, and a push is called against John Cutbush. Good crowd on hand here tonight. Not the sellout as we had anticipated, but very close to it.
Dangerous situation here, as I thought that call might go against the San Diego Sockers, but they've got a indirect free kick here.
And Geyer puts it down right into the chest of Piper and Cutbush. The shot on the rebound goes wide. Namdar with the follow in front of the net. It glances into the corner. Cutbush beats Adi Coker to the ball, and Cutts has it. Sock sagging around his ankles, sends it up for Jurgen Christensen. Jurgen not 100%, but playing nonetheless, as Roy Turner said. A great reflection of his character as Cutbush loses the ball in midfield. Adi Coker brings it up backdoor for Fernandez. Fernandez wide to the right, trying to find Coker with the rebound. Piper gets his foot on it, sends it back to the red line, but Namdar retrieves. Works it back for Geyer, who sends it towards the net. Blocked away by Cutbush again and controlled by the Rocket. Kim Runfett up the right side, sends it 2 lines ahead, but it's knocked away by Collier. Up against the near boards, and now he turns back towards the circle and works it off to his right for Chacha Namdar. Namdar, the former Phoenix Inferno, dumps it to the corner for Adi Coker. Working it against Kim Runfett. 2 All-Stars on the same floor. Ball in front of the net for Chacha Namdar. The shot came in, and he had it point-blank range, and he missed it. Mike Dowler popped up quickly. He wasn't too pleased with that set of affairs. Jurgen Christensen and Norman Piper having some words in front of the net, but somebody was irresponsible there, Steve.
Mike Dowler yelling a little bit at his teammates there. They've been playing great team defense in front of him, to their credit, but he wants those guys in front of the net covered, and they should never have gotten that pass in that situation.
Namdar, the initial member of the Wedge Club for this evening. We'll have the captain of the Wedge Club here at halftime, Kevin Cooley. And, of course, we're very sorry he's not in the lineup tonight, believe me. One of the great facets of the Wichita Wings, Kevin Cooley, indeed in the whole MISL. He's the kind of guy you start a franchise around, but he's not in action tonight, and San Diego controls it in midfield. Up along the far side, it's controlled by Wilrich. Wilrich in the middle for Veee. His shot scores! Juli Veee beats Cutbush and Dowler, and he puts the Sockers ahead 1-0, 12 minutes remaining in the first period of action, and this place erupts.
Juli Veee just toe-poked that one right up the middle as John Cutbush was on him, but couldn't keep him from getting that shot off. Mike Dowler caught flat-footed on a shot that just eluded him. And Juli Veee has that quick release, makes him very dangerous. He doesn't wind up with that ball. And he just came through on the trot and poked that one right past Mike Dowler.
For his 38th goal of the season. So San Diego scores first, which does not bode well for the Wings. They trail 1-0. Into the attack comes Wichita, something they have not done at all in this contest. Omar Gomez across the red line, working up along the near side, working in there against Wilrich, trying to get the ball loose. As right now, quite frankly, San Diego is playing with more intensity and enthusiasm.
Well, the San Diego Sockers probably anxious to make up for a frustrating game last night. The Wichita Wings certainly mentally prepared for this game. They've been thinking about it for the last 3 days.
Omar Gomez puts it in off the dead kick. Shot in the middle of the score by Jeff Bourne. It comes just 20 seconds after the goal by Juli Veee, and Jeff Bourne takes the rocket from Omar Gomez to tie it up at 1.
Jeff Bourne becomes just the second player in Wings history with 40 goals. That's his 40th there. Andy Chapman, of course, has the club record of 43. Omar Gomez, 37 assists on the season, and only Jorgen Christensen has had more assists in a season than that. Omar Gomez to Jeff Bourne. How many times have we seen that one? A beautiful play there and a nice chip by Bourne. Hope he has another one of his hot nights. He had 4 the other night in a club record 18 minutes plus change.
So the Wings, with their first concerted offensive effort of the evening, make good on it, and it's all tied at 1. And now San Diego, with Gert Wieserkowski, whips it up over the boards, and it'll be put into play now by the Wings on the far boards at the red line. Omar Gomez, left side, fair Rundfed. Rundfed at mid-floor, across the red line, loops it towards the corner. Terry Nichols takes it up off the plexiglass, heads it, now touches it with his right foot, sends it back on the weave for Omar Gomez. Omar heads towards the corner, then circles around to the top of the arc, takes a give and go from Bourne. Shot coming! It just was wide to let the follow by Nickel, and it's up over the head of Alan Mayer and into the stands beyond. Goal kick coming for the former New Jersey Rocket goalkeeper. 11:06 left in the first period of action. We're all even at 1.
Those two goals coming just 20 seconds apart. Juli Vee's at 3 minutes. Bourne's at 3:20. It looks like we're in for the kind of game we expected here.
An enthusiastic crowd of near 11,000 on hand here tonight as the ball is controlled on the far boards by Gary Collier. Sends it back near side. It's Gert Wieserkowski. For those of you watching along on Channel 3, as Alan Mayer distributes to mid-floor, we are directly behind the Wichita Wings goal at this point in time, behind Mike Dowler. As across the red line comes Vidal Fernandez working for Juli Veee. An interesting angle to call this game from as Per Rundfed comes in to intercept the pass. It's kept back in by Donnelly. He sends a shot towards the net. It's deflected away by Tony P. And Pesnecker deflected ahead for Per Rundfed. Rundfed coming in across the red line. Drives a little to his right and works it off on the way for Andy Chapman. Chap back down the middle. It's controlled by the great one, Jurgen Christensen. Christensen to Chapman in front of the net. Chapman driving to his right, turns, trying to get the shot off, can't do it, works all the way to the corner, then sends it back towards the red line, and John Cutbush, one touch in the middle for the Rocket. Kim Rundfed. Ade Coker comes in to knock it away. As the Wings do not communicate well on that one, Kim just had it stripped away. Now up along the far boards, it's Cha-Cha Namdar working against Christensen. Rundfed comes in to knock it away, and it's controlled by Norman Piper directly in front of Roy Turner and the rest of the Wichita Wings. Centering pass and beyond to Jurgen Christensen, chips it ahead into the corner. Chapman with Wieserkowski on his back. Pushing and shoving going on right in front of Bill Maxwell. The ball's finally jumped out by Christensen. It's chipped towards the middle for Norman Piper, who deflects it over the plexiglass and into the stand. So it'll be a kick coming for the Wichita Wings as it last touched the blue shirt.
Good swarming defense there by San Diego as they just wouldn't allow Wichita penetration. Jorgen out there feeding some good passes in, but Andy Chapman couldn't get free of a defender to get a shot off.
9:39 left in the first period. We're all even at 1. Christensen centering to the top of the arc. Rundfed stops it. Blast coming. Nope. Instead, Andy Chapman in front of the net. Turns, leaves it off right side. Piper just flies to the left, and Alan Mayer gets it back from Eric Geyer. The Wings have had fewer offensive opportunities, but they have been a little bit closer than perhaps those of their counterparts, San Diego. Eric Geyer across the red line. Whips the shot towards the net. Norman Piper gives his body up for the club, deflects the shot. Now it's in the middle. Christensen trying to get to it. Finally, Rundfed picks it off on the near board. Sends it up ahead for Christensen, who looks up along the left-hand side. He has Chapman, instead goes to the right. Rundfed takes it, one bounce off the plexiglass. Full volley shot, just missed wide to the right. The oohs and ahs go up from this crowd of nearly 11,000 as Wilrich has the rebound on the far board. Centering pass into the middle for Ade Coker, the great one. Gives and goes right back into the corner. Wilrich working against Christensen in front of the net. Pushing, shoving going on. Coker in front of the net, missed wide to the left. And Piper sends it back up to mid-floor where Eric Geyer keeps it in. Up along the right side for Kazdania. Geyer comes driving in, but a nice sliding tackle by John Cutbush bumps the ball back to mid-floor with 8:39 remaining. Ball is now dumped into the corner by Martin Donnelly. Sent in front of the net, but missed nonetheless, and Wilrich has it in the far board. Wilrich working against Christensen and Rundfed. Kim knocks it away, but to Geyer. Donnelly's shot goes wide to Dowler's right, and it's controlled by the Wings in the near corner. Cutbush in front of his own net to Rundfed, and the Rocket will send the ball up on the left-hand side for Jurgen Christensen. Jurgi catches his breath, sighs, and brings the ball up the floor very tentatively. Now a pass in the middle for Omar Gomez. Gomez trying to beat Danian to the left corner. Omar bringing it in. Omar drives up to all the way to Alan Mayer. Ball still free as Mayer did not get his hands on it, and Wilrich finally comes back and cups it away.
Looks like Omar put that right between Mayer's legs there, and unbelievably couldn't get to it.
Ade Coker across the red line. just at the top of the arc. Works it into the right-hand corner. Donnelly there. One touch. Fernandez shot coming. Dowler saves right in front of Ade Coker. Nice play made by Michael Dowler to avert a San Diego goal at 7:40. We're all even at 1. Kim Runford with the ball. Goal by Jeff Bourne tied it up after the goal by Juli Veee. Per Runford up along the left-hand side for Tony Pesnecker. Tony P with the ball. Working it against Donnelly. Top of the arc, Jeff Bourne. One touch back to Nickel. Nickel on the right wing. Top of the arc, it's Borney. Borney works it in for Nickel. Nickel goes to the corner. Got a little too far ahead of him, and Terry couldn't corral. It's knocked out of there by Fernandez, and up quickly along the boards for Juli Veee. Tony Pesnecker beats him to the corner, keeps him on his back as Dowler comes out to knock it away, and Omar Gomez corrals. Good job by Tony Pesnecker, in effect screening the man off the ball so Mike Dowler could get to it. Omar Gomez directing traffic up along the far boards, or near boards. Now Omar goes right by two blue jerseys, drives in 2-on-1. Gomez, centering pass shot coming. Borney missed wide to the right. It comes bounding out as Omar shakes his head in disgust. Wings had a great opportunity, but Jeff couldn't convert. Good job by Alan Mayer cutting down the angle as San Diego comes back on the attack. If the Wings are to be successful, they've got to capitalize on opportunities like that. Wilrich in front of the net. Shot coming and a score! It's Osdania as the Wings let down defensively, and a beautiful pass from the far toward the near corner from Gene Wilrich to Osdania. 2-1, Sox lead it. 6:34 remaining in the first period.
Osdania, actually the leading goal scorer on this team. His 41st goal. Wilrich with a great pass. And once again, the Wichita Wings let a San Diego player free just in front of the net. And you can't let the Sockers do that too often because they're going to put them all away just like that. Ray came on the rebound. That one coming at 8:26 on the rebound of a great opportunity by the Wichita Wings. Gomez pinpointing a pass to Bourne. Looks like he had a little bit too much on it and went wide.
Per Runford now across the red line, trying to get it back. Ball deflected to the near boards. Terry Nickel controls it for Norman Piper, sends it to the top of the arc, but getting there in front of everybody is Nico Roman out of Luxembourg. He's going to be about the only player in the MISL out of Luxembourg.
See, they got a real international mix here in San Diego, about 9 different nationalities from 23 players who've been on their roster this year.
Per Runford puts the ball down into play at the red line after the violation against San Diego. Here comes the blast. It's deflected in front of the net by Wilrich. Into the far corner it goes. Apparently hurting his leg in there was Wilrich. Off the kick by Terry Nickel. The fans didn't like it, but Wilrich now makes a miraculous recovery and sends the ball across pitch for Juli Veee. He's at the red line, far board, working against Norman Piper. Into the middle it comes for Nico Roman. It's tucked away by Terry Nickel. Controlled to mid-floor. Gary Collier battling with Jeff Bourne for it, and finally Collier's had enough of Bourne's peskiness, and he sends the ball back for Alan Mayer. Alan Mayer, who looks like he came right off of a roller rink where he plays roller derby. Gets that weird crash helmet on as Terry Nickel intercepts the ball at mid-floor for Jeff Bourne. Wings getting bunched up a little on the far boards. Bourne and Nickel now. That situation alleviated. It's Norman Piper in the middle. Wings trail 2-1, and now they are effecting substitutions as Kim Runford has the ball at the midfield circle. He just dumps it towards Bourne. In front of the net, it's headed away up over his back on a good play. And now we have a push called by Herb Silva against Norman Piper. It'll be a kick just shy of midfield to the near side of the midfield circle with 5:08 remaining in the first period of action. San Diego leads 2-1. Roy Turner said the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes would be the most important. Juli Veee in front of the net sends a shot from a difficult angle. It comes bounding off to Wiezerkowski. Wiezerkowski sends it back towards the red line. Far board. Juli Veee in front of the net. The score! Juli Veee turned on Jurgen Christensen and destroyed him and beat Mike Dowler to the left pretty easily. 4:50 the time of the goal. 3-1. The Sockers lead it, and the Wings have gotten behind by 2.
Juli Veee's 39th goal, I believe the assist from Collier. Collier's just had 4 assists previous to this game. That'd be his 5th, coming at 10:20. And just what you don't want to do against the Sockers is get behind early as they play with a lot of confidence here. That is correct. The assist goes to Collier. Wings get it back at the red line. Piper, left side. Christensen working in against Wiezerkowski. Jurgen with the ball on his left foot. As always, to the top of the arc. Right side. Kim Runford stops, places it, sets it. Back to the top of the arc. Intercepted by Veee. Veee driving up the length of the pitch as Runford stops to complain. Veee
Rolling the ball over, sends the shot coming, ball free in front of the net. Shot and score by Wichita, who came in from the weak side. And the Wings have got to get organized. They're getting burned badly. 4-1, Sockers lead it on the header by Wichita. And I haven't seen the Wings so disillusioned or disoriented on defense for quite some time, but San Diego has blown it open in the first period at 4:22.
Last time the Wings trailed by this much this early was probably last time they played here, as they went down 5-0 in that game. They're now down 4-1, and Roy Turner is going to call a timeout. The crowd's going crazy here as they've got at least 10,000. They're all up and cheering right now. A good performance. Weaver-Kowski's cheering them on. We got to give that guy credit for a very heads-up goal, literally. John Cutbush had one of those in the comeback at Kansas City where the Wings won 8-7. That ball high in front of the net, and Weaver-Kowski, who has the height advantage on Mike Dowler, got to it with his head before Dowler could get to it with his hands and just headed it right into the goal.
Wings, quite frankly, look disoriented to this point in time. Of course, remember they trailed 5-0 back here not too long ago in January and ended up losing the contest by 1 goal in overtime. Something to pass along the Garment District. Of course, your headquarters for Wings Customized Clothing. After the Garment District, 601 Northwest Street at Central and West Street. Stop in today.
Got some MISL finals to pass along. All of these pretty relevant, save one. The Baltimore Blast finally won one, beating Buffalo 10-5. That improves Baltimore's record now to 27-16. Gives them a full game cushion on Cleveland, who beat Baltimore last night. The New York Arrows, who are battling Pittsburgh for that final playoff berth in the Eastern Division, lost tonight badly at Chicago 7-3. And get this, New York, which played at St. Louis last night and lost 5-4, and at Chicago tonight, losing 7-3, now has to host Pittsburgh tomorrow. So 3 games in 3 days. The other game, Memphis 4, Golden Bay 3, and that keeps Memphis very faint hopes alive of making that playoff position in the East, as they're now 18-25, and at least mathematically have a chance to catch New York for the 4th position.
So the Wings' invincibility at home, at least to this point, has flittered by the wayside on the road as they trail 4-1 with 4 minutes remaining in this, the first period of action. San Diego has throttled the Wings just about from the start. And they have the ball back again. Middle of the field. The former Phoenix Inferno, Cha-Cha Namdar, working it against Piper. Sends it left wing. It's Gene Wilrich. Wilrich has it on the near boards. Works it back for Martin Donnelly. Donnelly retreating with the ball to mid-floor. Wings down by 3. In the opening period, Eric Geyer in front of the net. Works it off for John Cutbush. He sends it back door for Mike Dowler. Dowler pulls it off left side, and it's controlled by Andy Chapman. Chapman works it for Piper at the top of his own arc. Now right side, Jurgen Christensen. San Diego has come out very enthusiastic. The Wings have been a little bit flat as Cutbush has it at mid-pitch. Left side, far boards, Rundfed works it towards the corner. Andy Chapman rolls it back for Norman Piper as the Wings are slowing it down just a little bit. Good move on Roy Turner's part, trying to stop the pace of San Diego and maintain some possession. Kim Rundfed comes across the red line, stumbling, regains his balance. Left knee heavily wrapped. Sends it back for Norman Piper. Back for Rundfed again. One touch across the pitch. Andy Chapman takes it. Working in front of Eric Geyer. Tries to drive it towards the corner. Adi Coker knocks it away. Coker for Namdar. Back to Coker on the near boards. Adi picking up the speed. Christensen comes in to knock it away. Piper loses it to the top of the arc. Wilrich has it. Norman comes in and atones for that earlier mistake as Cutbush clears it away for Rundfed. To the right of goalkeeper Mike Dowler, Kim Rundfed with the ball. Sends it across the top of the arc, and it's John Cutbush on the far side. Cutbush, right foot atop the ball. Back for Rundfed as the 2 defenders play catch in their own third. Now across the midfield circle for Omar Gomez, who turns and comes up the floor, works it into the corner, and the only one there is Donnelly. Donnelly controls the ball. The Northern Ireland native sends it back for Mayer, who distributes right back from whence it came. Pass into the middle. Tony Pesnecker picks it off. Terry Nichols trying to beat everybody to the ball, but Wilrich got a foot on it and sends it back for Mayer. Pace the game has slowed considerably, which you'd think, Steve, would be more to the advantage of the Wichita Wings, who were just getting out-hustled, at least in the first 11 minutes of the first period.
I'm sure at that break, Roy Turner had to try and settle his team down a little bit and make them think about 1 goal at a time instead of making up 3 goals on San Diego, just like you got to take them 1 game at a time this stage of the season. Wings came back against San Diego from a 5-goal deficit. He's got to have them thinking now to come back from a 3-goal deficit.
Here, Rundfed. His shot goes wide to the left. Pesnicker, rebound, coming driving in. Picked away by Adi Coker, good play. And here come the Sockers on the attack. Cha-Cha Namdar across midfloor, works it off to his right. It's Fernandez. He circles back to midfloor and leaves it off for Juli Veee. Veee up along the near board, just controlled in there by Gary Collier. Collier works it into the middle for Fernandez, working against Per Rundfed. Both men, shirts untucked as the ball goes to the corner, and Juli Veee working against Omar Gomez. Two great ones. Veee drives to his right, works it off in the middle. Man was there and open. The shot came in off the foot of Kosdania. The rebound was there as well, but it glances wide. And now the ball in the corner. Veee heads it up over the plexiglass and into the stand. Steve, it seems like San Diego's getting so many opportunities down close to the net, whereas Wichita was keeping opponents away from the net and keeping those same opportunities to a minimum in the 6 previous home games. There perhaps have been more in this first period in San Diego with just 48 seconds left than there was in the last 3 games for any of the opponents for the Wichita Wings at home.
Just about every time San Diego's brought the ball down, they've gotten an opportunity from inside the goalkeeper's box, and you just can't give them those kind of opportunities. The Wings, who've been playing such great team defense, have already allowed as many goals in this game as they have in all but 1 goal game since the All-Star break, and they won that one 8-5 against LA. So
Jeff Bourne at the top of the arc is held in there by Nico Roman. It's a late whistle as Bourne's glare to Bill Maxwell may have done more for making that call than anything else, and Roman has a wide smile across his tanned face. So at the top of the arc, the Wings will get the ball back. Just 35 seconds left. Omar Gomez will put it into play. Jeff Bourne in front of the net. Per Rundfed with a drive and hit the post. Comes sounding out for Omar Gomez. Dangerous play is called. And so it'll be with 31 seconds left, San Diego ball.
I've seen that dangerous play called more this year than any other time for a player who's trying to pick the ball out of the air with his foot, regardless of whether there's another player around. Unbelievably, Andy Chapman got called for it twice when he was actually trying for a bicycle kick.
Daniel with the ball, works it back for Roman, sends it with 1 foot to Alan Mayer. In the waning seconds of the first period, 16 to be exact now, Terry Nichols does a nice job heading it back to Omar Gomez, who couldn't settle it and get a turn and fire as he was behind the defense. Mayer this time lofted high towards the scoreboard. Down for the waiting foot of Fidel Fernandez with Pesnicker on his back, and the period has come to an end. So, a period that we just as soon forget about has come to an end. 15 minutes of pathetic soccer, quite frankly, for the Wings at this point in time. You're listening to Wings Soccer on your voice of the Wings, KFH Wichita. They trail at the end of 1, 4-1. Read it and weep time for the Wichita Wings. They trail 4-1 to the San Diego Sockers in a battle of the big ones in the West. Steve Schott tells you how it happened.
San Diego struck first Juli Veee's 38th goal from Gene Willrich just 3 minutes into the game. The Wings came back immediately on the next drive. Jeff Bourne putting in a nice pass from Omar Gomez. Bourne's 40th goal. Gomez's 37th assist at 3:20 of the period. That was all for the Wings in that period as San Diego went on to lead at 4-1 on goals by Kosdania at 8:26. Juli Veee at 10:20, and Gert Wieserkowski on a header at 10:38. Willrich, Collier, and Veee assisting on those 3. San Diego had shot the Wings 8-3 in the first quarter. Mike Dowler had 2 saves to 1 for Alan Mayer. Both teams had 3 fouls. San Diego getting 1 block shot and the Wings 2. Neither team had a penalty in this game so far. But the big story on the scoreboard, San Diego 4, Wichita 1. Very tough to come back from that kind of deficit on the road, but the Wings came back from a 5-0 here, and you got to think if a team is going to have a letdown late in the game, it's going to be the San Diego Sockers. So don't turn down the radio yet. This game is far from over. 3 more periods. Remember, San Diego blew a 3-game lead in the last 5 minutes last night, led Phoenix 8-5, lost in overtime 9-8. So the Wings know it can happen, but they're the ones that got to do it.
Adi Coker in the near or far corner to the right of goalkeeper Dowler, working there against Greg Willen. Now all sorts of pushing and shoving going on, and finally Coker is the one called for the violation. John Cutbush that was, excuse me. Cutbush and Rundfed start out the second period of action as Jurgen Christensen sends it up the near boards for Andy Chapman. 1 touch into the middle. Norman Piper has it, working in the absence of Kevin Cooley is captain of this club. John Cutbush heads it towards the corner. Andy Chapman has it there, working against Donley. It's Cutbush again, trying to work it up ahead. He's obstructed by Gene Wilrich, and so the Wings will put the ball down into play. To the left of goalkeeper Alan Mayer, who has allowed just one Wichita goal and has witnessed 4 blue shirts score for San Diego. Norman Piper, shot coming. Knocked away by Alan Mayer and saved. Long distribution ahead, beautifully placed right before the red line for Ade Coker. He sends it back to mid-floor. Wieserkowski, right side, Wilrich. Wilrich working slowly to the top of the arc, works off on the give and go from Cha-Cha Namdar, but it's knocked away to Mike Dowler. And the Wings, dressed in white, playing against the Sockers, dressed in yellow and blue, will come up the floor. Chapman in front of the San Diego bench, working against Wieserkowski, takes the give and go from Chapman. Chapman driving into the corner, has to take it in from Christensen. Wieserkowski with a good recovery, sends it back to the red line, but the Wings are going to get to it. John Cutbush will do the honors at mid-floor. Cutbush with his left foot sweeps it across the way for Kim Rundfeld. The Rocket working against Namdar, has it deflected as the ball heads towards the corner. Wieserkowski is pushed by Christensen, and the call is made.
If you're watching on TV, you'll see Kim Rundfeld has a very heavily taped left knee. That's the knee that he had troubles with for so many games. He missed 6 straight games with a bruised knee. And I don't know that he's had any additional problems with it, but taping it to try and prevent any additional injury is he's a vital key in the Wings lineup.
John Cutbush working hard against Ade Coker, knocks the ball away, and it's Andy Chapman with a shot that hit the post and bounced back to the red line off a good pass from Norman Piper. Ball comes back to the red line. It's Ade Coker. Coker on the far boards, working back into the middle, trying to find Kosdania. It's successful, and it's all the way back for Alan Mayer now. Mayer stumbles over it a little bit, then sends it back for Collier. George Collier working the ball across, or Gary Collier, excuse me, across the red line for Fernandez. Fernandez to the top of the arc, working an uncontested right side. Geyer scores! Harry Nickel wandered off his mark, and Eric Geyer rammed it by Mike Dowler, and the Sockers are threatening to blow this one open. They lead it 5-1.
That was a true rocket by Geyer. He wasn't too far ahead of the red line on that one before he tilted that one off. Probably a good 60-foot goal. And that one was still going when it hit the back of the net. His 9th goal of the season. Comes at about 2:22 of the second period. The Sockers 5, the Wings 1. Wichita needs some offense to get back in this game. And Per Rundfeld will try to provide as he sends a shot that just glances wide to the left. It comes bounding out into the far corner, and it's Gomez. Gomez working against Collier, circling to the top of the arc. Tried to take a give and go from Jeff Bourne, but Mayer comes down and jumps on it. And I'll tell you, that give and go is not going to work very effectively against the San Diego Soccer Club as long as San Diego continues the tenacious man-to-man defense that they've employed thus far in the first half of action. Well, San Diego's also going for a lot of 50-50 balls. They just win one there.
And Dina has a shot from point-blank range as Pesnecker came over to cut down the angle, but not soon enough. And the save is made by Dowler. The ball comes back into the far corner as Jeff Bourne just dumped it there. And right now the Wings don't know the definition of continuity, much less are they exploring it. 11:38 remaining as Fernandez has it. Works it to the wing. Pesnecker tips it back to Mike Dowler. Dowler bowls it off to his right. Wings need a couple goals to get back in it. It is by no stretch of the imagination out of their reach, but certainly they are being manhandled by San Diego to this point. Omar Gomez across midfield, working to his left, finds Per Rundfeld, working it against Gene Wilrich. Big Per has it knocked away, but Pesnecker keeps it in at mid-floor. The Puma-wearing defender works it ahead for Jeff Bourne, who sets it for Gomez, who sends it up our way with 11:09 left in the first half of action. San Diego leading it 5-1 right here on KFH. Taste the Rack's experience today. Won't you have a tasty baked potato meal and end the salad bar for only $2.99? Rack's Restaurant at the corner of Broadway and Kellogg, or at 8333 East Kellogg, just east of Eastgate. Mayer distributes to Wilrich, working against Terry Nickel as the Wings now picking up a little bit more man-to-man as far as the defense is concerned. Ahead to Juli Veee goes Mayer, works off on a nice pass to Wilrich, left side. It's controlled there by a new man on the floor, Steve Nesson. Nesson works it off far side, and Nico Roman, the shot, it just glanced wide, hit the post and bounded in front of the net. As Dowler had dove to his left, the ball glanced in front of the net but goes around into the corner. Wings come back the other way. It's Omar Gomez ahead for Jeff Bourne. Bourne free in front of the net. Tried to get too fancy, and it's knocked away. San Diego is swarming on defense. Wings aren't going to have an opportunity, Steve, to work that ball around and get that fine shot that they have against other teams less experienced. Ball comes in. Juli Veee, centering pass. Shot saved by Dowler, diving to his left. As once again, San Diego had beaten the Wings defensively, but Dowler is the saving grace this time at 10-11.
What an opportunity for Jeff Bourne there, but Alan Mayer played him right up, came out to meet him, and Bourne, he couldn't get the chip shot off. He's trying to work the ball in and around Mayer, and the San Diego defenders were on him in no time. Great save on that last one by Mike Dowler.
But Al Fernandez at the midfield circle, wearing high-top soccer shoes, works it off for Juli Veee, sends it towards the middle. Shot coming on a nice little heel tap by Nico Roman is unsuccessful as Dowler makes the play. Veee picks up Norman Piper. Man-to-man, Piper dumps it back for Mike Dowler. Now the ball back for Piper in the corner, up ahead for Tony Pesnecker. Pesnecker dumps it back for Dowler high in the air. He takes it off his chest as Michael dumps it ahead up in front of the Wichita bench. Ball bounces in the middle. A fortunate break for the Wings as Norman Piper comes to the top of the arc. Right side, Christensen dumps it in the middle. Shot! Score for the Wings! Andy Chapman from Jurgen Christensen as the Wings work a 3-on-2 break to perfection and get back to a 5-2 deficit.
What a play by the Wichita Wings. That one, just what the Wings needed. Get that next goal and get going again as they can come back on San Diego. But they've got plenty of time to do it, but San Diego has been playing great in front of that goal, and Wichita finally getting its passes down, which is by far their big strength. Chapman extends his club record to 44 goals now. Christensen, his club record for assists to 56. He's creeping up on Stan Stamenkovic of the Americans.
As we're back under action in the first half. Wings trail now 5-2 on the goal by Andy Chapman. Beautiful pass from Jurgen Christensen. Ball is dead into the left of goalkeeper Dowler. After the holding against San Diego, Jurgen Christensen will put into play.
Might also mention a couple other records already broken tonight. The Wichita Wings have broken the club season record for goals. Obviously, this was their best season ever offensively. They got 237 now. The old record 235.
Christensen lost the pass for Chapman, which is picked off by Mayer, quickly distributed for Coker. Coker in the middle. For Kaz Dania working against Wieserkowski. Dangerous play called against Andy Chapman. Could have gone either way. Chapman stalled for the kick. Wings complaining as Wieserkowski was coming on. A 50-50 call and went against the Wings. Silva placing it down, directing traffic as both teams, or at least Wieserkowski goes off now. He had been hampered by an injury coming in anyway. Missed a great deal of the overtime with an injury last night against Phoenix. Ade Coker with the ball at midfield. Works it off for Kaz Dania. Dania dumps it back to the red line and beyond. And the ball is knocked away from Gary Collier to Alan Mayer. Back to Collier. Mayer controls. He sends it with the right foot ahead. Jurgen Christensen heads it away to Piper. Heads it back to Christensen. But it wasn't with enough pepper on it. Danger coming in uncontested. Left wing shot. Coming as he drives to his right. Dowler comes out free. Is in the front of the net. Shot coming wide. As it was missed by the left foot of Gene Welnish as it comes out. Dowler made a tactical error in coming out of the net as the ball glanced in front of him and he couldn't get up fast enough to cover. Wings get back quickly. Andy Chapman, top of the arc. Christensen, left side, takes it off the boards, and it's controlled by Collier. Collier ahead to Juli Veee, but it's knocked away by Cutbush, controlled to Piper on the near board. Norman Piper with the right foot sends it back to Kim Rundfed. The rocket across the red line. Chapman, one touch. Christensen tried to give and go. The pass wasn't there, and Collier leaves it off for Eric Geyer. Eric Geyer, not a small man, works it up along the left-hand boards. Juli Veee at the left wing, top of the arc. Kaz Dania, right side. Fernandez drives. Dowler save. It knocked Mike off his feet, but he made the play. Fernandez has it to the top of the arc. Leaves it off. Does Juli Veee for Kaz Dania. The ball is deflected away, and Andy Chapman controls it. Chapman working against Fernandez, sends it into the middle for Omar Gomez. El Indio drives it to the red line, makes a nifty move that even OJ would be proud of. Drives to his right, shot coming, and Mayer makes the save. Deflecting it to the near corner. Gomez dumps it back to the red line where the Wings retrieve it at 7:08. Wings got to score here, Steve. They got to make that 5-2 deficit a 5-3 deficit and can't allow San Diego to get any further ahead.
Great effort there by Gomez.
Runs it. Bourne trying to get it back in the middle for Runford. Bourne turns and fires, but Geyer clears at the length of the floor. Three-line pass against San Diego. Wings will have it at 6:51 at the red line to the right of goalkeeper Alan Mayer.
You got to like the way the Wings have been playing here the last 10 minutes. They're coming back on the San Diego Sockers. Still a long ways to go, but they're looking so much better than they did that first period. But it seems like nothing was going right for them.
Per Runford with the ball. Good team forces their breaks, and that's what Wichita had been doing throughout the 6-game homestand. I've never seen a team play any better in that 6-game series than did the Wichita Wings. They were playing every facet of their game intact. They've been a little slow in starting tonight, but they're starting to swing the momentum back just a little bit their way. Per Runford into the corner, sends it towards the net. It's knocked out of there by Collier. He sends it for Fernandez, but Terry Nickel beats them to the ball, and the Wings maintain possession. This is exactly what San Diego was doing to the Wings in the first period. The Wings have changed it around in earnest.
They're going after those 50-50 balls. Such a crucial part of the game. It seems so simple.
Jeff Bourne is pushed as the ball came across the red line. And the Wings maintain possession. Omar Gomez working it to the top of the arc against Newman. Coach's son, Terry Nickel, shot wide. Gomez comes in. He was pushed off the ball by Newman. The ball was deflected into the stands, and it'll be a goal kick coming for Alan Mayer.
Talking about those records, Gomez and Christensen both have points tonight. They become the first players in Wings history ever to reach the 70-point mark, as they're tied for the club lead in points this season. Bourne, of course, right on Chapman's heel for the goal-scoring record. Bourne with 40, Chapman with 44. Both of them have been hot since the All-Star break.
Newman at the top of his own arc works it back to goalkeeper Mayer. The single biggest addition to the San Diego Soccer Club. Distributes the hit for Juli Veee. Pesnecker picks it off, working it back to Dowler, finally gives it to him. Mike stoops over, picks it up, right hand slingshot up the right side. Jeff Bourne can't trap it. He loses it into the bench area. 5:46 remaining in the first period of action. Wings trail 5-2. They trailed in the contest 5-1. Andy Chapman's goal made it 5-2, and that's where we stand at this point. Captain of the club, Kevin Cooley, our guest at halftime. And we look for his words of wisdom to inspire us in the second half, certainly, we hope.
Kevin's always good for a comment on what's going right and what's not.
Yep. Very honest young man. He's very refreshing indeed to deal with. As he says, in what no uncertain terms, what's going on with the Wichita Wings. Alan Mayer ahead. Juli Veee takes it off his chest, working against Pesnecker. Dumps it ahead, trying to find Cha-Cha Namdar, but Per Runford beats him to the ball and sends it for Alan Mayer. Mayer dumps it off along the right-hand side. Far boards on TV for Tony P. Now it's controlled by Per Runford. Back to Pesnecker. Lofts it with the left foot towards the Wichita bench, and indeed into the San Diego bench, so the Wings lose possession. And it'll be controlled by the blue-clad Sockers as the Wings make substitutions. Piper comes back into the floor. Andy Chapman getting ready to come back on as Bourne will leave the pitch. Wings have Per Runford and Tony Pesnecker in the defensive third. Pesnecker on Juli Veee at this point in time.
Wings, of course, on the first game of a 4-game road trip. 4 games in 5 days. Play tomorrow at Phoenix, Tuesday at L.A., Wednesday at Golden Bay before coming back for a great weekend. Pittsburgh on Friday, and this San Diego club on Sunday.
And indeed, San Diego with the lead and the ball. Into the midfield, Adi Coker takes it off his chest, working one-on-one against Tony P. Pesnecker trying to wrangle him down, and Maxwell calls the hold, and a good call it is. Tony will do that to you. He'll try to intimidate you a little bit physically. Guys that underestimate him are very surprised by his strength. Bench presses about 230 pounds, which I would say is probably more than any other wing could do. As Pesnecker has it to the right of goalkeeper Dowler. And he'll lull you into that false sense of security and give you a jolt, as he has done so many times against some of the great ones. He and Greg Willen with one of the great defensive performances against Stan Stamenkovich earlier this season. Of course, that is inconsequential at this point in time as the Wings trail 5-2. Kim Runford meanders up the middle of the floor, works it off to his right. Norman Piper with the ball, sends it back to the red line for Jürgen Christensen, and the Great Dane with a left foot lofts it towards the corner. It's going to go one bounce off the plexiglass, comes to the waiting foot of Andy Chapman, who has it knocked away by Nico Roman. The ball goes ahead, trying to find Adi Coker, but Cutbush plays it back to Dowler, who picks it up and starts the Wichita pass break back the other way. Kim Runford takes the air out of the ball at the defensive red line. Norman Piper dumps it ahead for Andy Chapman. Chapman with the ball at the top of the arc, has it knocked away by Nesson. Nesson says, no fancy stuff, let's just put our heads down and run. Nesson Driving in, right wing, has it. Left-footed shot coming, blocked by Rundfed. And Cutbush knocks it away to Rundfed. Gibson goes, and the Rocket has it at the middle of the floor. Kim says, let's start the offense with Dowler. And Mike one touches it ahead for Jurgen Christensen with 3:31 left. What a great time to score.
I tell you, I'm not too confident in the Wings' chances against this set-up San Diego defense. They've scored both their goals on quick breaks so far, and San Diego's been awful tough when they're set up in their defense.
50 pass off the foot of Fernandez, working off for Nesson. Back to Fernandez, shooting to the top of the arc. He's free. He hits the post. Norman Piper inexplicably just left the man at the top of the arc, and finding himself alone, the shot came and just was wide, as a defensive miscue by the Wings this time does not hurt them. With 3:06 remaining in the half, ball be put into play from the corner kick spot. Top of the arc shot coming. Dowler saves off the foot of Donnelly, and again off the rebound. Ball comes down to the waiting foot of Christensen, who sends it into the far corner. Piper up along the near board, or far board. Roman heads it back into the attack zone. It's touched by Donnelly from Fernandez, and Donnelly comes across the red line. Fans exhorting the Sockers on. Left wing, it's Fernandez working against Norman Piper. Fernandez driving towards the corner, sends a shot off the boards. Man in front of the net was Nesson. Christensen knocks it away, and the Wings can't get it out of their own defensive end. Piper has it. He has it knocked away. Gets it into the middle of Christensen. Jurgen with the ball. Adi Coker on. Sends it up along the left side. It's controlled by Cutbush. Dumps it back for Christensen. Jurgen with the ball at the red line. Has it stripped away by Coker. And here comes Adi on the break. Adi Coker leaving a 3-on-2 break for San Diego at the red line. Thinks better for it and works it back for Nesson. Back into the corner. Coker has it. Shot towards the board. Ball is wide. It's glanced off to the foot of Jurgen Christensen, who sends it for Gene Woolrich. Woolrich playing for San Diego sends it wide to the right. And Kim Rundfed makes a nifty play to bring it up along the far boards himself. Rundfed with Woolrich on his back. Sends it back for Cutbush. And the Wings will come on very tentatively at minute 52 left. I can agree with you, Steve. There has been breaks the Wings have utilized for scores.
San Diego's so good on their set defense, and you're not going to get many by Alan Mayer.
As the ball comes to the top of the arc, Omar Gomez having some problems maintaining possession as Roman is down, trying to knock it away. Omar maintains the handle on it. Now to drive to his right for Pesnecker, who sends a blast. Mayer jumps on it and makes the play.
Pesnecker was a little bit more open just seconds before that.
Juli Veee across the red line. The chance of Veee go up. Ball comes in off the boards, trying to find Kozdania. Now the Wings break. Dowler up ahead for Jeff Bourne, working against Eric Geyer, sends it right side. Omar Gomez. Gomez at the top of the arc, works it off for Nickel, who sends a shot. It was deflected in front of the net, and Mayer finally jumps on it. Mayer with the ball. Sends it up along the right side. Juli Veee working against Pesnecker, 57 seconds left. Veee makes a tremendous spinning move, working against Tony P. Tony doesn't give any quarter. Juli Veee maintains possession. The fans chanting Veee, Veee. They love this guy. But the ball is knocked away as Omar Gomez comes in to knock it to Dowler. Ahead for Terry Nickel. Jeff Bourne tried to keep it in at the red line, but the three-line pass is called. And look at this. Juli Veee is knocked over by Eric Geyer. The two really get a little laugh out of it. And now Veee just gives them a hug as both of them laugh it off. A sense of humor. Of course, it's easy to do that when you lead by 3. 5-2, 40 seconds left. Veee to the top of the arc. Geyer, shot coming, deflected away. Gomez has it. Omar in front of his own net, works it off for Jeff Bourne. Bourne across pitch, far boards, Terry Nickel. Terry checking the clock, brings it across the red line, into the attack zone, working against Geyer. Sends it towards the middle, has it knocked away. Dina has it. Works it ahead for Geyer, coming in uncontested. Pesnecker clears it to Dowler. 18 seconds left.
Wings could sure use a goal here.
Anytime they could use a goal. They trail 5-2 as Rundfed comes across the red line. Blast coming in. A follow-up on a save by Bourne as he sends it for Mayer. The ball is knocked away with 2 seconds. They nearly got it, but the period comes to an end with a 5-2 San Diego lead as this crowd of nearly 11,000 rises to their feet. Not too much unlike the hordes at the Kansas Coliseum to cheer their team on. The Wings trail at the intermission 5-2.
With you at the Sports Arena. halftime by a score of 5-2. Joe, briefly, what do you think the Wings need to do here to get back into this thing?
Well, they picked the pace of the game up. They were a little lethargic in the first quarter. I think it's important that they do play this low-pressure defense and make San Diego come to them. They've got to get back and not give Juli Veee and this Fernandez any kind of space to maneuver into.
Well, San Diego scored 4 goals in that first quarter, and since then it's been a pretty even game, and I think Wichita's been doing a better job at just what you say.
Yeah, I think so. San Diego the pace will have to drop because they worked very hard in that first half, and the long game last night plus the travel, it may take its toll, and let's hope it does.
First 5 or so minutes of this second half really could tell the story. Well, at halftime, the United States Navy band from San Diego here celebrating or playing in front of the folks here at the sports arena, and a very good crowd and indeed on hand here, in excess of 10,000. We don't have the exact figure on it yet, but certainly a very good crowd here to watch this game between the first and the second place team. We might explain for you the tiebreaker system used in the MISL, and it certainly could come down to this, so it certainly could be very, very important. If Wichita and San Diego should tie at the end of the regular season, the first thing they do is they look at head-to-head matches. Well, for Wichita and San Diego to tie, obviously Wichita is going to have to win tonight and then win again on Sunday at Wichita, and that would make the season series tied at 2-2. The next thing they look at is goals in those games. And in the 2 games that San Diego has won, both have gone into overtime, so obviously both one-goal games. So if Wichita can win one of the next 2 by 2 or more goals, then they would have the advantage in that particular case. Well, if they're still tied after that, they go into the third tiebreaker system, which is their record in the Western Division. And right now, Wichita does have a better record in that West with a 1-game advantage in that particular thing. So that's all really premature just a little bit, as the Wings trail San Diego by 2.5, and they certainly need this one to get back into it. Well, last Sunday you saw a very strange game indeed between Wichita and New York, and what you saw were some stalling tactics used by the New York Arrows, and in particular by Shep Messing. Joe, Shep just stood outside the penalty box with the ball for what seemed like an eternity and just tried to slow down the attack of Wichita.
It's a real shame to see this sort of thing happening in a game. Shep Messing has never done this before in his career in the MISL, and I'm sure he's never done it in his outdoor career either. This is a tactic that has obviously been put on him by Joe Matchnick, who was in charge of the referees, but is now somehow managed to get the coaching job in New York. It's really sad. It kills the game of indoor soccer. They did this tactic, and later in the game, it really began to take an effect, and as you saw there, Jurgen got very frustrated with this whole thing.
Well, he did, and right after the Kim Rotfed goal, Jurgen does that little dance out front and says, hey, I don't like the way you guys are playing at all, and now he and Shep Messing square off. Jurgen's not done at all. We might explain there's been a rule change as a result of the delay tactics used by New York. The rule change is the keeper now has 5 seconds, like always, to get rid of the ball in his own area, but then outside the area has only 10 seconds. Val Tukes are saying, come on, let's go. Well, enough of that. The Wings won by a score of 4-2. Then we want to show you one more thing. And this is something that I know you've all been waiting to see once again. First, the initial save by Mike Dollar, and then here it comes. Wichita versus Baltimore. Andy Chapman versus Keith Van Aren, and it's in the net.
That's incredible. That has to be the longest goal in MISL history.
It was an amazing play, and the crowd at the Kansas Coliseum that night just absolutely ate it up. They loved it, and so, as you can see, did Andy Chapman. The crowd just went crazy out there, and we just were amazed. For what seemed like about 2 or 3 minutes, the crowd just stood up and cheered. They couldn't believe it. Let's take a look at it again from this angle, and from this angle you'll be able to see it about as well as anything. Van Aren gets caught up around the top of that penalty arc, and Andy Chapman quickly looks up and sees him, and then he burns him.
It's great vision by Andy on doing this. Keith Van Aren has appeared to be playing out of his goal quite a bit these days, and Andy really punished him for doing that. Maybe he'll stay on his line a little closer now.
Again, the Navy band performing here at halftime. Well, right now I'm sure Roy Turner is performing in the locker room, because he is, I'm sure, reading his team the riot act. They trail by 3 right now. San Diego leads at halftime by a score of 5-2. And when we come back in just a moment, we'll toss it back to Wichita for an update.
Hey, love chocolate and peanut butter? Do I have a candy bar?
Joe Howarth back with you in sunny San Diego, California. And right now it's not so sunny for the Wichita Wings, as you can see by the scoreboard. Wichita trails San Diego at the half by a score of 5-2. Well, this isn't the only thing going on in the world of sports today. Craig Bullerjack standing by at KSN Sports to give you highlights of this first half, what highlights there were for Wichita, plus some action from around NCAA basketball today. The semifinals were held, and it'll be Houston and North Carolina State. So Craig is standing by right now with all the scores and highlights for you. Right into you, Buller.
All right, Dave, thanks a lot. I know you guys are having a good time out there on the West Coast. As you know, it's halftime of tonight's Wings San Diego soccer game, and if you have been watching the contest, you know that Wichita is having one tough time with the Western Division leading Sockers. Let's pick up some of the first period action. The Sockers jump out to a 1-0 lead. If we can get the video to roll here, Juli Veee is having a great night so far for the Sockers. He'll break through the Wichita defense, and he'll pick up the score 1-0 at that point. Now, Jeff Bourne takes the pass from Omar Gomez, and within a blink of an eye, the Wings and Sockers are tied up at 1. The first-place San Diego team then retook the lead. Kaz Damey in around the goal, drives the ball underneath the legs of Dowler, 2-1 San Diego. Now, less than 2 minutes later, Juli Veee back to work, his second goal on the night, knocking a tee shot past Dowler, as San Diego, folks, is on a roll. The Shockers keep coming at Wichita. The shot off the boards is headed in by Gert Warkowski, and Wings fall behind 4-1 at that point. Second period, San Diego picks up where they left off. Eric Geyer with the goal. The Wings in trouble, trailing 5-1. However, Andy Chapman responds to the call, taking the pass from Jorgen Christensen. Wings pull back to within a 5-2 count at the half. Now, other games around the major indoor soccer league tonight. Baltimore ran past Buffalo earlier. That final 10-5. Chicago over New York, a final just in, 7-3. And Memphis edges past Golden Bay on the Americans' home turf by a score of 5-4. And an interesting game out also on the West Coast tonight. I'm sure a lot of Wichita fans of interest. Kansas City leading Los Angeles by a score of 2-0 in the second quarter. Now, because of the way the time is tonight, we wanted to show you some of the NCAA action, but we can't do it, let's just say this way. Monday night, the NCAA championship, it will be Houston against North Carolina State. We'll be back with more halftime action right after this timeout.
Quite well in the second quarter there. They didn't play very well at all team defense in the first period, and that obviously is the score there, but played much better in the second quarter. You got to figure that if they can get the next goal, get a little bit of momentum going, and San Diego's got to be scared to death. The team's coming back on them, especially what happened last night. They blew a 5-0 lead against Wichita last game here. All season long, they have played poorly with a lead. They played in spurts just very much like Wichita has at times. Played very well in spurts, but when they get a lead, they tend to relax. And so the Wichita Wings certainly have a chance to get back in this. But I'll reserve further comment until I see who scores the next goal. And I won't make any predictions from this point.
Alan Mayer has changed his goalkeeping soaps from his green, predominantly green-colored uni, to a gray and black trim one. The Wings will start it off with Bourne, Gomez, Nickel up front, Per Runted, and Greg Willen in the back.
So Greg Willen subbing for Tony Pesnecker. Pesnecker actually had a pretty good first half, but Greg Willen certainly equal to the task as well, as he's played well when he's been used this season and been used quite a bit.
And the argument by Roy Turner is that Willen is better going forward.
Well, the Wings need a little bit of that right now. Willen does have 4 goals, 5 assists on the season for 9 points. Pesnecker, who's got some good goals, but he's only got 3 points on the season. 5 points, 3 goals, and 2 assists.
Wings working on the attack now. At the right wing, Omar Gomez works it off on the weave. Now he fakes it by Terry Nickel, works to the top of the arc, trying to find Bourne, was unsuccessful. It's knocked away and controlled by Costania, who knocks it back to the goalkeeper, Alan Mayer. Mayer quickly up along the right-hand side with a very uncustomarily poor distribution. As he dumped it into the stands, Wings will have it back. Omar Gomez at mid-floor. Bill Maxwell, Herb Silva working the contest. Omar Gomez with the left foot sends it for Per Runted. He takes it, cranks up the speed, works it to the top of the arc for Jeff Bourne, who's pushed in there by Eric Geyer, and the Wings will have it at the top of the arc. Alan Mayer, the type of goalkeeper that as you go along, gains confidence. But certainly he had his lights put out last night in Phoenix, allowing 9 goals. Gomez works it off, left wing, fair Runfed. It went by Maxwell, who perhaps did as much to block the shot that Runfed might have taken than anything else. Ball comes in off the rocket blast anyway. Jeff Bourne had it on the weak side, but he couldn't quite get his foot on it. Comes ball into midfield. It's Ade Coker working against Greg Willen. Coker drives to his right. He's open. Willen makes a great recovery, though, and plays him off the ball. Dan's clamoring. Ball comes to the top of the arc. Trying to score! Donnelly with the goal makes it a 6-2 ball game as the Wings come out cold in the second half.
Just the wrong thing to happen to the Wichita Wings. Instead, that next goal very crucial. San Diego now with a 4-goal lead. The fans are back in the game. The Wings have got to hang their head a little bit. They desperately needed that next goal. And now they face a very big task. They're coming back 4 goals on San Diego at home. And let's face it, their defensive play just hasn't been what it had been the previous 8 or 9 contests.
Gomez comes driving in, shoots a hope and a prayer towards Alan Mayer, which is deflected by Gary Collier. Ball comes back to mid-floor. Wings control it at the defensive red line. Fair Runfed with it, left foots it. Right side Willen tries to go ahead to Omar Gomez. It's knocked away, and San Diego picks up right where they left off. Into the attack zone they come. Near boards, Ade Coker, top of the arc, working against Fair Runfed. Sends it to the corner. Fernandez is there, working against Willen. Drives it towards the net, working in against Willen, pushing and shoving going on. Ball gets free as Ade Coker was there. Now he's boarded by Terry Nickel. And what else can go wrong? Nickel gets 2 minutes for boarding. Turning into a nightmare for the Wings, believe it, as Terry Nickel goes to the penalty box. 2 minutes. Boarding will be the call at 13 minutes, 18 seconds of the third period. And San Diego, who comes into the contest with a 34% success rate in the man advantage, will try to make it a 5-goal lead to the 7-2 tally.
The Wings are 58% on the penalty killing, but have just allowed 1 in the last 7 attempts by the opponents, so they've been hot of late.
Westbrook, Pesnecker, Runfed, Fair, and Norman Piper. As the ball is put in to the top of the arc, shot coming, deflected by Dowler as Fernandez came in there and sent Dowler for a loop. So the corner kick now will come from the opposite end. The left of goalkeeper Dowler, Herb Silva will put it down. Fernandez will put it into play. Dowler directing traffic. Westbrook and Piper blocking the path to the net as Juli Veee puts it into play. Goes across the net. Man was wide open. Gene Wilrich now, that was Kaz Dania. Now a handball is called on Fernandez.
Unbelievably, only 5 seconds have ticked off the penalty clock. It's an awful lot of action out there in 5 seconds.
Dowler picks it up, distributes it to mid-floor, trying to find Fair Runfed, who just heads it in there. The Wings have been very effective with that play, but Alan Mayer comes out to dump it to mid-floor. Piper goes over the back of Coker, but no matter. 3-line pass is called before the play can be consummated. 13 minutes, 5 seconds left in the third. Sockers lead at 6-2. First goal, which was ever so important, and as Steve and I were talking off mic, very important for the Wings to get. They did not get, and now trail by 4 as a result.
Donnelly from Dania on that goal. Donnelly's 9th of the season. Dania with 23 assists.
Runfed with the ball. This is Pear at his own midfield. Hobble on the left-hand side for Westbrook, who dumps it back to Dowler. He can't pick it up. Instead, Lasso with the left foot towards midfield, where it's knocked down by Donnelly. Martin Donnelly across the red line to his left. Dania back to the top of the arc. Donnelly into the corner. Veee pops it high in the air. Norman Piper heads it back into the corner. Pesnecker controls Veee. Trying to go through his legs as Pesnecker just tries to dump it to the red line. Piper gets there and finishes the task off as Donnelly picks it up at mid-floor. 1:10 left in the penalty. Donnelly with it across the red line, piercing the attack zone for Dania into the corner. Fernandez top of the arc. Piper chips it away to the red line. All the way to mid-floor. Alan Mayer comes up to side swipe it back into play. Donnelly at the red line. The fans exhorting the club on. 53 seconds left. Good crowd in San Diego tonight. Donnelly at the top of the arc in front of Coker, working against Pesnecker. Works it off at the wing, and it's sent up into the stands. I nearly had a souvenir here off the foot of Kaz Dania. And it'll be a goal kick from Mike Dowler with 45 seconds left in the penalty. 12 minutes, 2 seconds left in the period. Mike Dowler will place it down in front of him and sends it with the right foot to Terry Rundfed, who just dumps it into the corner. Westbrook comes in, battling Kosdania. He's got it in the corner. Who knows, maybe the Wings can get something going offensively. Rundfed with it, trying to get it back to Westbrook. Can't do it. And it's finally knocked away. And now here San Diego has a break as Westbrook and Rundfed hustle to get back. It's Fernandez across the red line, works it off to his right. Ade Coker in front, trying to get it for Dania. Dania is there, works it in front of the net. Juli Veee is there, and it's knocked away by Piper. Dowler comes out to knock it towards the corner. Coker keeps it in and sends it to the red line. Now 14 seconds left. Ball in front of the net. Coker with the shot. Veee tried to deflect it in, and it comes bounding around the corner. Controlled by Fernandez. Left puts it to the top of the arc. Geyer with the drive wide to the right and high. Comes back out to Fernandez. Fernandez with the drive. Dowler deflects it to the corner. Both teams are back to full strength. Good job by the penalty killing unit who continue their string of success in a very key situation. Wilrich with the ball at mid-floor. As the Wings look for opportunities to substitute, Juli Veee with the ball, working against Tony P. Now it's Wilrich. Wilrich works it off on the weave to Dania. Wilrich again. Dania is there. It's finally jumped back to Mike Dowler by Terry Nickel, as Terry made a good play to keep Dania on his back. Now the penalty killing unit rambles off to the bench where the Wings make substitutions.
Well, credit the Sockers for some good passing in close quarters there, but I'll tell you, Wichita is still giving San Diego way too much room inside that goal area. And Mike Dowler's been lucky to keep the ball out of the net more than 6 times.
Dowler has been tremendous in nets despite the fact that he's allowed 6 goals. I shouldn't say he, the whole team has. Andy Chapman giving chase only half-heartedly to a ball that Juli Veee beats him to at mid-floor. John Cutbush goes sliding into the board. Pushing is called against Wilrich, and that's just a plain bad call. Cutbush slid and tripped into the board, and the fans realize that Bill Maxwell made a bad call, but the Wings will not let that gift horse in the mouth. They will instead put it into play.
The Wings get a break. They need one. Frank Rasmussen on the field now.
Christensen just dumps it ahead. He was trying to find Andy Chapman perhaps, but he found Alan Mayer instead. And Alan dumps it up ahead for Gene Wilrich. He dumps it 2 lines into the near corner for Juli Veee. Veee working against Cutbush. Cutbush dumps it up ahead for Wilrich. And Rundfed battling for it. Rundfed wins out. Now it's ahead for Andy Chapman. Chapman circling around the ball at mid-floor. Across the midfield circle, it's Christensen. Wings need to score as Rundfed drives in across the red line. Kim takes it hard off the boards, and Mayer is there to take the carom perfectly. He distributes up along the right-hand side. The ball wafts down perfectly in front of the red line. I have not seen a goalkeeper that distributes any better than Alan Mayer. As the ball is back to the red line near side, it's Fernandez working against Christensen, makes an empty move. He's free. It's just as wide. Fernandez with the follow. Dowler kicks it into the corner. Ball still free, and Cutbush knocks it away. Finally, Dowler jumps on it. Great action by San Diego in the net, Steve, as you said, way too close to the goal line, as Mike Dowler is earning every penny of his pay this evening.
The Wings just aren't doing a very good job of clearing it out there, and they're letting the San Diego players make those runs inside. Of course, you can't get in their way. You can't move to obstruct them. There's a big difference between moving in their way and getting in their way.
Frank Rasmussen with the ball for Kim Rundfed as the Wings are working in their own defensive end. Cutbush has it knocked away, and it's Ade Coker. Coker for Fernandez. Vidal Fernandez. He got the game winner in a 5-4 Wichita loss in overtime back at the Kansas Coliseum in December. Fernandez has the shot. Down, a save from point-blank range, and Chapman gets a foot on it back to the red line. Kosdania on top of the ball, working with Jurgen Christensen. Christensen is tripped to the floor, and we finally have a whistle as it goes a tripping called against Kosdania. Rasmussen quickly into the corner, tried to whip the shot. Now he's trapped it instead. Rundfed's going to have it. Drives. Mayer makes the save. Alan Mayer looked like a third baseman taking a ball off his chest in the hot corner that time as a blast from Kim Rundfed sent him backward. Now Ade Coker working in the far corner, sends a pass across the middle. Shot coming. Wilrich missed it as Dowler deflected it towards the pier side. Great job by Mike Dowler. Great action. Ball comes in. It's deflected off the back of Kim Rundfed. John Cutbush comes off along the left-hand side, and the Wings come on the attack. Great action. The Wings are fortunate San Diego didn't score. Now the Wings hanging their heads a little bit. Cutbush's pass is intercepted, and San Diego's controlling the flow. Cutbush tries to dump it back to Dowler. Juli Veee takes it and scores. Wings are getting blown out, and they're playing very poor soccer right now. That pass should have never been made. Mike is absolutely disgusted, takes his glove, throws it to the floor. Rogers' pass that's headed for Christensen was intercepted. This crowd is going wild, and the Sockers' lead is now 7-2. And if the Wings don't regroup quickly and get a little bit better attitude, they're going to get blown out of this ballpark tonight.
Classy move by Juli Veee there as he goes up and shakes Mike Dower's hand. And he knows Mike's disgusted. Juli did a little bit of a dance there before he put that ball in the net. And he didn't mean anything against Mike Dower personally, but carried away in his own excitement.
Fair run fed comes down. Wings trail by 5. Gomez with the drive. Mayer saves, diving to his right. Omar Gomez hustling after it, working against Donnelly in the corner. He and Donnelly having some words. Donnelly pushes him. Now he's having some words with Herb Silva. Donnelly's got a right to be irritated. Omar gave him a pretty good shove heading into the net. Now it's picked up and San Diego controls. Alan Mayer distributes to the red line. Greg Willen knocks it back to Dowler, who has to left-foot it up ahead for Terry Nickel. Handball against Newman should have been called, and it was. And right in front of the Wichita bench, Terry Nickel will put it into play. Wings trail 7-2.
I'll tell you, San Diego has won 10 in a row here at home, and you can see why. They play with an awful lot of confidence and enthusiasm. All night long, they've been going after that 50-50 ball, and outside of a short, about 10 minutes in the second period, then they've been winning those 50-50 balls against the Wings. And as we said earlier, that's such a big part of the game. And Wichita just hasn't been playing the way it had in their, really, since in the 13 games since the All-Star break, save the New York game, the Wings have really played good soccer. They lost a couple of those that they could have won.
Into the attack, Fernandez looking to rub it in. Sends it to the corner. Namdar working against Nickel. Terry Nickel with some good enthusiasm of his own, busting in against Namdar. The ball is cleared into the corner for Fernandez, working against Greg Willen. Gomez hustling after Newman as the ball is centered to the top of the arc and beyond. Donnelly has it. Martin Donnelly with the ball, working it towards Veee. Every time Veee has it, you can sense the excitement in this arena as he works it for Namdar. Namdar with the ball. Back to the red line. It's Donnelly working against Terry Nickel. Donnelly sends it to the near board. Per Runfed gets his foot on it and sends it for Jeff Bourne. Borney into the middle for Per Runfed, and Per comes on the attack. Here comes Per, leading the Wings break down the floor across the red line. Runfed to the top of the arc. Runfed driving to his left. Runfed with the shot. Mayer makes the save. Wings waited perhaps a little too long to get the shot off. And Juli Veee now comes back the other way, leading a fast break. Terry Nickel hustling back, makes the play to Mike Dowler. A good hustle by Terry Nickel, one of the hardest workers on the Wing squad.
Terry had to come all the way back on that one. Greg Willen was the only one back. That sure could have been a goal for the San Diego Sockers.
Gomez, top of the arc, turns, fires, deflected. Chapman follows and scores to make it 7-3. Andy Chapman gets a goal on the rebound shot from Omar Gomez, who I'm sure will get the assist. At 5:32, the Wings have cut it back to 4 to make it 7-3. So they steal a little momentum away from San Diego and cut the deficit to 4.
The Wings need to pull a little Houston job here. Down at by 4 goals. They've got time to come back, but San Diego's playing so well. I'd say a little bit of a Houston job. I'm talking about Houston-Louisville today.
Don't remind me of that.
As Houston came back from, looked like Louisville had the game dominated. Houston came back and won it in rather convincing fashion.
Of course, you heard both those games right here on your sports leader, KFH, and you will hear it Monday night. Just after Sports Talk at 7:03, it'll be Louisville. Or excuse me, Houston, wishful thinking, Bruce. Going against North Carolina State for the national championship. My money says Houston, but don't count out Jim Valvano's boy. Coker to the top of the arc. Piper knocks it away. Cutbush tries to clear to Dowler, and he's successful. John directing the offense. Points to Kim Runfed, and Kim receives the ball. Works it diagonally for Andy Chapman, who has 2 of the goals, 2 of the Wings tallies. He works it for Christensen, who gets by Ade Coker. Ball in the middle. Shy of the defensive red line. Cutbush ahead for Chapman. Wings got to come back 1 goal at a time, but time is fleeting. 4:45 remaining. Piper across the midfield line. Works it to the left. Cutbush is free. Cutbush winds up. Cutbush drives to his right, leaves it for Piper. Turns, fires, deflected by Roman. Into the corner it goes. Chapman retrieves it. Back for Kim Runfed. Wings maintain possession in their own offensive end. Cutbush in the corner. Chapman, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3. Back to Chapman. Or Cutbush. Cutbush now working for Runfed. Left wing, Piper. Runfed again, top of the arc. Chapman has fire of Runfed coming in. Kim drives, shoots, hits it wide, puts it. Chapman tries to come in. He was tackled hard with Kim Runfed. He might have had a hit pointer on that. He had a wide open shot, but a good defensive play by Nico Roman neglects the goal. Now coming back the other way is Dania. Dania with it. Should have been a dangerous play called, and Silva makes it. Dania went high in the air to knock it away from Norman Piper. Dangerous play is called. Kim Runfed with a golden opportunity. Just hit the ball high. Up a great pass from Andy Chapman, who comes back in his own right. Tries to send it for Runfed. It's negated. And it's Mayer with the ball to the red line. Into the corner. Juli Veee whiffs at it. It looked like me playing golf, and it's knocked back to Dowler. Controlled by the Wings. They come on offense, needing a goal to cut it to 3. That's how far they are out of this contest right now. Per Runfed across the red line. Drives a shot hard off the boards, high in the air. Jeff Warren on the far side can't get to it, and it's going to come out to the foot of Fernandez. Omar Gomez, though, beats him to it.
Good defensive play by Omar. As the Wings forwards are going to have to play the full court to get the Wings back in this game. They can't afford to stay on offense the whole way.
Christensen for Gomez, hit the post, and it bounds away. Omar working hard in there against Newman. Newman wins it away and sends it for Juli Veee. Look at Veee hustle as he tries to cut off the path to the net as Greg Willen beat him to it. And the ball comes quickly to Christensen off the distribution from Dowler. Jurgen wearing number 12 on his back, chips it ahead for Borney. Borney works it over, trying to work it back for Gomez, is successful. Wings got their hot horses on the floor right now. Everybody save for Chapman. Christensen trips and falls. Wings slow getting back on that transition. Top of the arc. Fernandez. Veee has it. Veee back for Fernandez. 24 feet. Drives to his right. There, Runfed plays him off the ball and sends it for Dowler. Dowler quickly for Jeff Bourne. Beautiful trap at the red line. Drives to the top of the arc. Christensen has it. Split tackle away. As right now San Diego is playing with more enthusiasm for the 50-50 balls. Here comes Donnelly. Donnelly, left wing shot coming. Woolrich, it's deflected away, and Christensen has it. Woolrich goes over his back, and the call is made. Christensen puts it into play, but a poor pass for Omar Gomez is intercepted, and Jurgen will walk off the field right now at 2:09. Wings trailing 7-3.
Well, the Wings lucky on that one, as they ruled that Jurgen didn't ever put the ball stop there before he took the kick. And no time clicks off the clock as Wichita would have lost possession on a rather quick free kick by Jurgen Christensen.
Wings trying to gain momentum, trailing in the contest 5-4, 7-3. Right wing, it's Per Runfed at midfield. Into the middle for Omar Gomez. Top of the arc, Jeff Bourne. Bourne for Gomez. Gomez overran it. He had a good opportunity, but the Wings just aren't quite clicking. They're just missing right now. Their enthusiasm and intensity has to be higher than San Diego's right now, and it is not. It's about on the same level. They're playing even up out there right now. Unfortunately, the Wings have 4 to make up. Into the attack comes Newman. He was obstructed by Nickel with a good little shoulder, but Wichita already had a beat on the ball, so no call is made. And the Wings with now 1:16 left. Bring it up the floor. Gomez tries to go to head to Andy Chapman. He heads it up by Mayer, gets the deflection off the plexiglass, and the Wings are even unlucky on top of it all, as Mayer just happened to be down at the right place at the right time and makes the save off of Chapman from point blank. Into the corner it comes. Shot coming in front of the net. It's bounded away. Veee had designs on a goal. Ball is knocked away, and it's controlled on the near boards by Woolrich. Goes cross pitch diagonally for Eric Geyer, working against Terry Nickel. Circles back towards the top of the arc, works it off for Veee, sends it in front of the net. Ball is there, and it's deflected away as John Cutbush went hard against Steve Nesson and made the necessary defensive play to deflect that shot. Now Gomez comes back with 35 seconds left. It's Terry Nickel at the left wing. Works it in for Andy Chapman, takes it off his hip, sends it back for Gomez. Gomez to the top of the arc. Runfed stops it, sends it towards the corner. Nobody follows. I got to wonder what these guys think about sometimes. 22 seconds left. Good hustling effort by Andy Chapman. Keeps it alive, and he just missed. Ball goes wide to the right, and here comes Juli Veee quickly with 14 seconds left. Veee with a burst of speed to the red line, working against Gomez for Woolrich. Shot coming. Veee just missed it. The follow-up from 24 feet at the top of the arc by Nesson. He just ran over Gomez with 3 seconds left. Nesson with the drive, time coming up, but Nickel goes over his back, and the buzzer sounds, ending a furious third period of action. Much to the satisfaction of these fans, some 11,000 rise rise to their feet in exaltation of a 7-3 San Diego lead.
The quiet guys at Johnson's General Stores are ready for April with a whole...
Have sun in your own little tropical island getaway designed for your comfort and pleasure. Remember, Suntana is the oldest, most knowledgeable in this business in Wichita and the largest. Here first and here to last, and always the best.
Sockers 7-3 on your voice of the Wings, KFH Wichita. To tell you how it happened in that third period, things aren't getting any better. Here's Steve Schott.
The Wings went into the third period trailing 5-2, of course. Martin Donnelly made it 6-2 on his 9th goal of the season from Kosdania. 1:02 into the period. Just the wrong thing for that to happen to the Wings, as I really think they would have had a good chance of coming back if they'd gotten that next goal to cut it to 5-3. Then the Wings got called for a penalty. Terry Nickel called for boarding at 1:46. Penalty killing unit, which has stopped 7 of their last 8 now, was successful on this one. Did a brilliant job of killing that one. Almost had a chance to score, but it wasn't in the cards. The Wings then got down 7-2 as John Cutbush made a pass right to Juli Veee. Juli Veee did a dance right in front of the goal, then popped it in. His 40th goal of the season, unassisted at 7:23. Andy Chapman cuts it to 7-3, his 45th goal, the club record from Gomez at 9:28. And that's the way we go into the fourth period here. The score, San Diego 7, Wichita 3. We have a partial score at Kansas City, 2-2. I mean, at Los Angeles, Kansas City 2, Los Angeles 2. Late in the third period, the Wings could use some help there, as Kansas City's one of those 5 teams battling the Wings for just 4 playoff spots. Quickly, the shots after 3 periods. San Diego 23, Wichita 16. Dollar has 12 saves to 9 for Mayer. San Diego 13 fouls to 9 for Wichita. 4 blocked shots each, and the Wings, of course, have 1 penalty for 2 minutes.
Gerd Wieserkowski, far side of the circle, works it across midfield as the Wings now trail by 4 with 14:47 and ticking left in the contest. Jurgen Christensen dumps it away for Andy Chapman, who takes it himself, trying to thread the needle between blue shirts. The ball's kicked away nicely, but Chapman gets it right back off a nice pass from Norman Piper. Shot is coming from the corner, deflected by Nico Roman. Dump back to the red line where Christensen controls. Jurgi basically ineffective tonight, quite frankly, as the ball comes to the top of the arc. Chapman knocked off the ball nicely by Roman. Ball is deflected to the red line, and Rundfed controls. Rundfed to the far side. Chapman comes near side across the pitch. Christensen lets it get behind him, and Piper distributes it back for John Cutbush. Kim Rundfed tries to dump it towards the corner. Wieserkowski knocks it away. Fernandez controls. Fidel Fernandez with Adi Coker ahead. Instead comes up along the left-hand side for Kosdania. Cross pitch, it's Wilrich. Wilrich with the ball. Drives into the right-hand corner. Kosdania, Donnelly, top of the arc. Dania, shot coming. Just wide to the left, comes bounding out into the corner. San Diego maintains possession as it's controlled by Fernandez. Fidel Fernandez with the ball, working there against Norman Piper. Works it back for Kosdania at the left wing. Dania works to the top of the arc. Shot coming. Dollar saves brilliantly to his right, but the follow by Fernandez makes it an 8-3 ball game. Fidel Fernandez with 13:34 left makes it a Socker 8-3 lead.
Wichita, the Wings once again giving the goal up early. That just breaks the back right there. 8-3, Fernandez, who's been very effective against the Wings. He's got a goal and an assist tonight. He now has 29 goals on the season. That one's coming just 1:26 into the fourth period. San Diego has scored 3 minutes into the first, 2 minutes into the second, a minute into the third, and a minute 26 into the fourth. And those are always backbreakers early in the period.
Bear Rundfed with a drive, a hefty drive from the left wing. It's deflected by Mayer. Wings trail by 5 as Gomez comes to the top of the arc. Always intense. Omar sends it right side for Rundfed, or for Rasmussen. Left side now, Rundfed. Rundfed takes it off the boards to himself. Rasmussen has it. Right side shot coming. Follows. Score! Gomez! He takes it from Jeff Bourne, and it's an 8-4 ball game as Omar Gomez knocks it home from Jeff Bourne, so who knows? The Wings keep trying to commit suicide, then they come back and revitalize themselves. They're only down by 4 with 13:03 left, but they're going to have to score goals in bunches to get back in it.
Omar Gomez, I believe his 34th goal of the season. Checking that right now, that's correct. His 34th goal of the season. He has 72 points now on the season. He takes 2-point lead over Jorgen Christensen. He's been in on 3 of Wichita's 4 goals tonight.
Wilrich has the ball at midfield. Has Juli Veee breaking to his left, but Rasmussen, the hustler that he is, steals it away and makes a nice move to his left to drive in. He meets Wieserkowski, the ball high in the air. Mayer goes up with it, knocks his own player Newman off the ball. Gomez has it at midcourt. He dumps it off near side to Rasmussen, back into the middle for Omar. Omar working against Wilrich, ahead for Jeff Bourne. Bourne turns, fires, deflected nicely in there by Newman, who's taken a real beating both by his own players and the opposition, and he'll limp off as Mayer picks it up and bowls it off along the right side. 12:20 left in the contest, and San Diego controls. As the most overworked piece of music in the Major Indoor Soccer League starts to permeate the sports arena, the theme, of course, from the Midnight Express, used extensively in 3 or 4 arenas, as Per Rundfed takes it to the top of the arc. Ball is deflected away. Terry Nickel gets it back at the red line, works it to his left. Omar Gomez stops, drives to his right, shot coming. Score! Omar Gomez! Hey, hey! Wings are back. Takes the 5 now at 11:57 as Omar Gomez turns the trick for the Wichita Wings.
The assist should go to Terry Nickel. Gomez's 35th goal, his 73rd point of the season. We'll see if Nickel indeed does get the assist. That would come at 3:03. Folks, there's time left in this ball game. Stranger things have happened as the Wings in less time came back on Kansas City from a 3-goal deficit. They had trailed 7-4 up there with about 12 minutes to play. And they'd need another great effort like they had at Kansas City, though. Nickel does get the assist.
Chapman has it for Gomez. Coker knocks it away. Ball in the net. Chapman drives in. Ball free. Mayer knocks it back to the corner. Coker clears it to the red line, or tries to anyway. Fernandez stops it from getting there and dumps it off into the middle for Donnelly. Martin Donnelly across the red line. Dumps it 2 lines ahead into the attack zone. Greg Willen over the back of Nesson to make the play. He stops it at his own defensive red line and dumps it back for Per Rundfed. Rundfed with the ball for Omar Gomez. Omar sends it back for Per, and Per takes it with his left foot and works it into the attack zone. Per Rundfed goes ahead for Andy Chapman, but it's knocked away by Conley. Andy Chapman, a great goal scorer, but he very rarely comes back to meet the ball like good receivers always should. That's a football rule, but the same can be said in soccer. Sometimes you got to come back to the ball. Andy rarely does it.
Andy's biggest strength, without a doubt, is he's really great at putting that ball in the back of the net when he's got the open shot.
Wings showing some character, coming back from an 8-3 deficit to make it 8-5. Great testimony to the fact that they have not given up in this contest, as Jürgen Christensen has it. Blocked away by Adi Coker, sends it back for Dowler, who takes it off his chest, sends it right back to Jürgen. Jürgen on the near boards, works up past his Danish buddy and teammate, Kim Rundfed. Lost it into the corner for Cutbush, sends it towards the net. Ball there for Andy Chapman, sends it back to Cutbush. Piper with the drive, deflected in front of the net. And it's now Wilrich. Wilrich with the ball. Defensive red line. Now beyond. Into the attack zone he comes. Slowly driving to his right. Works it off for Veee. Kim Rundfed wins the ball away. Sends it towards the corner for Cutbush, who tries to get it back for Rundfed. Wilrich intercepts. Veee has it in the corner, left of Dowler. Sends a shot, sending Mike back. Showed how much velocity he had on that ball. But Mike makes the play and sends it off for Norman Piper. Now ahead to Kim Rundfed. The Rocket with the ball across the red line. Kim drives in. Heels it back for Jürgen Christensen. Driving on the near boards against Newman. Jürgen with his left foot loops it towards the corner. Rundfed with the full volley drive. He hit the crossbar. It comes out for Christensen. Top of the arc, Rundfed trying to get it in for Jeff Bourne. It's knocked back by Fernandez. Bourne with his hands held high to the heavens, saying that he was held on the play. Veee gets it back. Dania drives in. Veee scores. Wings burn on the fast break at the 9-5 game. That changes the complexion dramatically at 9:22 of the 4th period. 9-5 contest. Beautiful ball control by San Diego.
I'll tell you got to tip your hat to the Wings. Have been playing a great comeback, showing a lot of character there. They're working their way back in this ball game. I'm afraid Juli Veee may have put the nail in the coffin right there. His 41st goal. Well, this guy's had 4 goals in this game already and an assist. They call him here the greatest player in all indoors. I'll take exception to that, but he's showing every bit of it tonight.
He is a tremendous player, to be sure. One of the best 5 in the league. as Jeff Bourne has it inside the red line to the top of the arc. Forney's going to drive it, docked away, and controlled by Fernandez. Wings need to swarm. They need to take some risks. Who cares if you lose a game by 2 or 3 goals? You still lose it. They need to cut loose and take some chances. As Juli Veee takes the ball across midfloor, now to the red line, into the corner. Namdar shoots. Veee follows. Saved by John Cutbush as Dowler had wandered to his left. Cutbush came in to make the defensive play of the game.
How many times have you seen John Cutbush do just that thing? Intercept a shot on the line or near the line and knock it out. Probably his strongest asset as a defender is good play right around the goal, and yet he's also the Wings player who's chipped in more goals, own goals, and who tonight had a pass in front that led directly to a Juli Veee goal. But they all make mistakes. John Cutbush obviously has a lot more positive play than it does negative, or he wouldn't be on the field.
Greg Willen being pushed and shoved by Fernandez, works it off on the weave across the red line for Jeff Bourne, drives in, takes the shot, deflected. Namdar. Mayer makes the save and pins it against the glass wisely before he goes outside the goal box area. Collier with it now at the red line. Works it off to his right, Juli Veee at midfloor. It's been a pleasure to watch this man work tonight. A class act by a class player. He's got all the attributes that make him one of the greatest. It's Collier now. Collier at midfloor. To the red line, Namdar. Namdar working against Rasmussen. Some pushing and shoving going on, and finally Namdar is called for the push. Rasmussen now pushing and shoving. Some temper starting to flare. Maxwell warning both of them. Rasmussen says, I just want to play ball. Namdar probably saying the same thing. An American official, a Danish wing, and an Iranian soccer. Only in the MISL. Ball to the top of the arc. Rasmussen control. Works to his left. Chapman drives. Mayer driving to his right makes the save. 7:38 remaining. Alan Mayer makes the play.
Alan Mayer, maybe the biggest difference in this ball game, Juli Veee notwithstanding, Alan Mayer has made his share of stops tonight that have kept the Wichita Wings from getting back in this ball game as they've trailed the entire game.
Really have never been in it, save for the 0-0 face-off at the beginning of the game. But they have maintained their character and intensity, and that has been good. They hung their head perhaps once, let down a little bit. That led to a San Diego goal. And since then, pride has bolstered the Wings, and they have put forth a good showing. They trail 9-5, and Andy Chapman looks to make it 9-6 as he brings it across the top of the arc. He's played off the ball nicely by Nesson, and it's Fernandez. Fernandez at the defensive red line. Works it off back door. Dyer complaining to Maxwell, missed the pass, and Gomez controls it back for Greg Willen. Willen in midfield. At the red line now, Omar Gomez directing traffic. What a game Omar's had. Just a great player. Really spark-plugged the Wings. As Per Ronfed sends a drive off the plexiglass. Willen was there for the rebound, but he was turned the wrong way. And Donnelly has it. Up along the right-hand side, Fernandez is met by Willen. Willen steals the ball away. Greg to the middle for Omar. Omar touches it back for Rasmussen. Now Willen at the wing. Greg working in, drives to his left to make a nice move. Shot coming, Mayer save. Willen gets the rebound again. Sends it back to his red line. Fernandez comes in, just pushes Willen. Fidel with a smirk on his face. I tell you, I can't appreciate that too much. That was just cheap. Kind of like Guy Lewis throwing the towel on the floor tonight at the ball during the Houston-Arkansas or the Houston-Louisville basketball game. Per Ronfed now at mid-floor working with Nesson. Nesson bulldogging him, and he's called for the hold.
I don't understand how there can't be a 2-minute penalty on an obvious hold like that. If you're going to give 2-minute penalties in the game, what more do you need?
Omar Gomez to the red line, driving in. Omar to the left. Omar slid tackle nicely by Geyer. Gomez maintains possession. Sends it to the top of the arc. Nichols drives to his right. Shot coming, deflected. Still just high of the goal, and it's knocked back to mid-floor where Kim Runfed maintains possession for the Wings. The Rocket with the ball across for Terry Nichols. He pierces the attack zone, working into the right wing. He's met by Kaz Dania, one of the great all-time Olympic players for Andy Chapman. He's tackled in there by Geyer. Had his foot caught under his body and could not get to the ball, and Mayer distributes it with 5:51 to mid-floor. Ade Coker Works it to the far board. Stania to Coker. Coker is met by Cutbush. John goes down, may have turned his ankle. Coker drives in. It's deflected by Terry Nickel. Good play. And Cutbush controls for Gomez. Omar driving in to the red line. Omar goes to the left. Stops. Passes it back into the middle. Forney has it. Top of the arc. Drives to his right. Shot come. Blocked away by Donnelly. Forney hustling after it again as Roman was over there as well. Dania knocks it back to Roman. Roman in the far corner to Donnelly. Donnelly dumps it back past Gomez, trying to get it to the goalkeeper Mayer, and finally they are successful. Allen bowls off to the left side. 5-11. San Diego with time on their side.
With not too much less time than this. In fact, with 4:57 left last night, San Diego had an 8-5 lead on Phoenix. Very much in the same situation they're in now. They're 9-5 on the Wings. And Phoenix pulled their goalkeeper. I don't think you'll see Roy Turner pull his goalkeeper that quickly, but it worked for Phoenix. And apparently San Diego has had a problem when the other clubs have pulled their goalkeeper. Talking with their PR director, Dick Chrisman, today, they've had 9 goals scored against them when the other team scored their goalkeeper, and they've only scored 2 empty net goals.
Jeff Bourne with the ball at the red line, leaves it off for Terry Nickel. He brings it into the offensive zone in earnest, sends it back to Bourne. He's working to the top of the arc, trying to get it free. Donnelly knocks it away, and it's Juli Veee. 4:25 remaining in the contest for Donnelly. Donnelly driving in uncontested. Donnelly right wing for Dania. Dania working to the corner of the box. Juli Veee has the shot. Donnelly tries to get in it. Dowler comes out, but not aggressively enough as Veee went right by him and stole it away. To the top of the arc, it's Dania. Now Dania with a drive just wide to the right. And Runfed finally gets his foot on it. I think it's about time for a timeout and perhaps a change in that strategy as Runfed makes a drive past everybody, shoots and hits the post. Wings are unlucky on top of everything else tonight as they just missed. Bourne gets it at the top of the arc, drives in. Donnelly knocks it away. San Diego's really kept the Wings away from the net. Piper at the top of the arc sends it to left for Nickel. Cross pitch, Runfed stops it. Sends it towards the goal area, blocked away again, and it's Dania. Dania sends it back for Donnelly. 3:37 left now, down by 4, Steve. You got to think that Roy Turner's got to start thinking about perhaps pulling his goalkeeper the next possession on the timeout.
Well, if he knew the stats against San Diego, I didn't find that information out in time to tell him. I know he realizes from last night that they don't play well against that 6th attacker. They don't look quite as easily as other teams do for that open empty net goal.
Juli Veee takes it across the red line, tries to dump it towards the corner, and Vidal Fernandez, it's knocked away back into the defensive end, but now time is of the essence. Just 3 minutes remaining, and the Wings are still in the twilight zone as far as the score is concerned. They trail 9-4.
Roy Turner is signaling his team to call timeout, so the next time the Wings get possession, they would like to call timeout. They have to have the ball to do it.
Up along the right side, it's Ade Coker. Greg Willen going after it. Coker drives to his right, stops. Willen sends him hard to the floor. Coker really deserves an Academy Award for that. Soccer players have got to be the most dramatic players I've ever seen. And now Eric Geyer is just motioning to the crowd as the ball in front of the net, and finally Dowler will pick it up and call a timeout. But 2:27 left. So the Wings have been trying to call a timeout for a minute and a half. They have to wait till the 2:26 mark. And Mike Dowler, a disconsolate Mike Dowler, who has done his utmost to keep the Wings into this contest with some sterling saves to left and right. Watch to the net. His job finished for the evening.
Team defense, which has been the Wings' big strength, really their big turnaround. They've been a great offensive club all season, and everybody says, look at the offensive production the Wings are getting this year, and they are. Players like Chapman, Christensen, Gomez, Bourne, all setting club records, but it's been the team defense that's been the difference since the All-Star break. The most goals the Wings had allowed since then was 5 against Los Angeles, and not a very strong effort. Other than that, the most they'd allowed was 4 against New York and Chicago in losing causes, and Memphis in a winning cause, and most of the time they've allowed their opponents 3 goals or less. But it wasn't there tonight, and that's the Wings are down 9-5. They haven't announced the attendance here. The attendance, a new regular season record. This Sports Arena holds 12,800, and now some fans are leaving, so it's hard to say, but I would have to agree. 12,039 here tonight is what they're calling it, and I would say at its peak about 800 empty seats, so I'll call that one the right one. That's the largest attendance ever in the regular season for the San Diego Sockers. The other night they had 11,800, and that was their largest, and they go over that by a couple of hundred. So the Wichita Wings coming close to packing the house here in San Diego. And despite the lopsided score, they've been treated to quite a ball game as Wichita made a nice threat there in the fourth quarter to come back on San Diego.
Tim Runford now will become the goalkeeper for the Wichita Wings. A reminder to taste the Rack's experience today. Have a tasty baked potato meal and endless salad bar for only $2.99. Rack's Restaurant at the corner of Broadway and Kellogg, or at 8333 East Kellogg, just east of Eastgate. Tomorrow, the Wings in action in Phoenix. We'll be on the air at 5 o'clock. Kim Runford works it off for Brother Pear. Back to Kim, wearing black and green silks. Left knee heavily wrapped. Now it's Pear Runford. 2:09 remaining. Kim at the right wing sends a drive towards the net. Jeff Bourne gets it free for Gomez. Dumps it back for Pear Runford. Here comes the drive, and Mayer makes the save off a blast. Kim Runford gets the shot. It's deflected. Here's Collier. Tries to send the ball the length of the floor, but Runford deflected with his chest, and now it's Jurgen Christensen. Christensen sends it right wing, Runford. 1:48 left. Wings just got to pepper the net. Piper back to Runford. Stops it with his right foot. Works it off for Brother Pear. Here comes the blast. Pear driving in. Sends it for Christensen. Nope. Jurgen in the corner. Works it back. Runford. Kim has the drive. Deflected away. High in the air off the plexiglass. With all sorts of top spin on it. The ball bounces back to the boards. Pear Runford keeps it in. Pear works it towards Gomez in the middle, and it's knocked away by Wilrich. It's dumped back to mid-floor. Kim Runford controls back for Gomez. 1:20 left. It's all over but the crying. Still, it'll be interesting to see if the Wings can garner a goal here, as it's in the corner for Piper. Sends it for Gomez across the opening of the mouth, or the goal mouth, and now it's Christensen. Pear Runford, top of the arc, right side. Kim Runford, shot coming wide, and it's deflected away and controlled by Coker. Ade Coker tries to get it up the board. It's kept in by Forney. Coker stays on him. Gomez at the top of the arc, drives in, shot coming. Forney still free. Score! Piper! Norman Piper from Jeff Bourne with 50 seconds left makes it 9-6. So the Wings at least cut the deficit.
Piper's goal is 13th of the season from Bourne. The San Diego crowd giving a round of applause. San Diego's going to win this one, but Wichita making a game effort to come back in their most important game of the season. Quite correct, starting time tomorrow for that Phoenix game has been changed. It's a 7:05 Phoenix start, so we'll be on the air. It should be at 7:30 tomorrow evening. But it's listed in your pocket schedules and everywhere else as a 5:35 start Wichita time. It's been changed because they've got a USFL game there in Phoenix on Sunday, and they wisely have changed the start of the soccer game.
44 seconds left. Jeff Bourne at the top of the arc. Gomez right side. Shot coming. Piper in front of the net. Mayer saves. Mayer quickly sends the ball the length of the floor, and it's going to go in, or is Kim Runford going to get to it? Kim gets to it right at the post, and I think he did that for dramatic effect as much as anything, as he sends it now up for Christensen. Jurgen at the red line. Wings haven't given up. I'll take my hats off to that as the Piper goes into the corner, sends it towards the front. Forney and Gomez both there. The ball sent back to the red line. 14 seconds left. Kim has it. Works it left side for Pear. 9-6. Pear with a drive. It's off the head of a very courageous Roman. Ball is top of the arc. It's going to be sent the length of the floor. 1 second left. B sends it towards the net. It's going to go in, but not count. Ball game is over. 9-6. San Diego wins it. Back for a final comment after this timeout.